Now, to start with, this is a practical class now. You need some setup. You need to set up your environment in order to write code, So Python is our programming language. So we need environments. You cannot just write code in an atmosphere now. You need some tools that can help you write your program, debug your program, and then execute your program. So the first thing you need to do to start the practical class is to install Python. Now, Python is going to be our interpreter. Now, what I mean by interpreter is that a program or a software that can actually translate whatever you have written in form of English, like language, then that software will convert it to a machine-readable language, a language that is understood by the system. So that is what I mean by compiler, either compiler or an interpreter. So we have translators that could be compiler-based, some can be interpreting-based. So what I mean by interpreting-based is that it will help you to translate your source program to an object program line by line. That is what an interpreter does. If you decided to learn Java, for instance, Java as a programming language is a compiler-based programming language. So, being a compiler-based programming language, it could help you translate your source program to object code at once. So that is the difference between interpreter and compiler. So Python is an interpreting programming language. That is why we need to install an interpreter. Now, to do that, for you to be able to install Python, you are going to this website. The website is www.python.org. I take it again, www.python.org. That is the website where you are going to download Python. Remember, don't forget that I said Python is our programming language. So being our programming language, it comes with an interpreter. So for us to have that interpreter installed on our system, we go to that website. So if you go to the website, log on to the website. By the time you get to the website or on your browser, type www.python.org. Then you are going to click on download. Once you have clicked on download, then you have been able to get the installer onto your system. Once you get the installer onto your system, then the next thing is for you to double click on that installer, which is your interpreter. Then you run it. Don't forget, by the time you double click on it, make sure that you select Add Python to Path. You need to select that button, Add Python to Path. Then click Next, Next, Next until you are able to finish the installation. Once you have installed Python onto your system, then you have a full-fledged interpreter. And the good news is that this interpreter has an embedded IDE. Now, what I mean by IDE is that IDE means integrated development environment. So it means that interpreter could help you to write code. It comes with a text editor where you could actually write your code. That is one. It also has an interactive environment. This interactive environment is known as IDLE. So what you will know, what you are going to understand is that in Python, we execute our programs either using the interactive mode or the scripting mode. I take that again. Executing your Python program can either be done interactively or using the scripting mode. So in an interactive mode, you write your code, and by the time you press enter, your code gets executed. But one thing with that environment is that once you are able to close the application, that is the end of that program. You won't see it again. But when you are on the scripting mode, in this scripting mode, you are going to save your file as .py. So when you save your file as .py, it saves on your system and you could go back to it again and again. That is the benefit of scripting mode. So in a nutshell, you need one, your laptop for this practical class. You need an IDE. You need an interpreter. You also need a source of internet. Now, your laptop is the device that you can install all your software for running of your programs. The IDE, which is an integrated development environment, is where you write your code and execute them. Your source of internet or internet is where you get information in case you need any extra information on the internet. So source of internet is there, and also you need your interpreter, because without the interpreter your code cannot run. So those are the various ways, or those are the major tools, that you need in order to write your code effectively. Having explained that, we want to go further into an advanced development environment. You need also data science packages, or what we refer to as libraries, in order to run and execute your data science programs. So there are two ways by which you can install this library. One is by creating what we call virtual environment. Now, another way is by downloading a well-packed software that contains all those libraries that are responsible for your data science project or analysis. Now, the first part The first category is using what we refer to as a virtual environment. So if you want to go via virtual environment, then you will create a virtual environment on your system. Once you are able to create a virtual environment on your system, then you can install the necessary packages that your project require. So the importance of this virtual environment is that it eliminates that environment from other environments, which means that that environment is a standalone environment that will not interfere with other environments. So making that environment secure and making your analysis safe from any form of error. So to set up a virtual environment, it is very simple. So on your system, you are going to create a folder. And when you create a folder, then you are going to create that folder, store it anywhere on your system. It could be on your desktop. And once you are on your desktop, you can type, if you are on Windows, you can type this at your command prompt. Python sorry, you can type Python so Python-m. Oh my God. So Python-m, then the name of, then venv. So when you type Python-m venv space venv, then the name of your virtual environment. Let's say I want to call it my environment. When I type this, I say Python-m space venv, then space the name of the environment that you want to create. That is the name you want to give that virtual environment. So once you are able to do that, then at the command prompt. So once you have given it that name, then you can now activate it. To activate this environment, you go further to type the name of the virtual environment, which is, in this case, my env. That is the name of my own virtual environment, my env. Then slash scripts slash activate. Once you are able to do that, then it means that you have activated that environment. Then by the time you activate this environment, it's going to write the name of the environment, telling you that the environment has been activated. So from there, you can now begin to install the required libraries. Now, remember that once been able to install your Python interpreter, this Python interpreter comes bundled with pip. Pip is a package manager. So this pip that come bundled with Python interpreter helps you to further install any library that you might want to use in your project. So what I mean is that you are going to type the word pip, which is pip, then install, then the name of the library. For instance, you want to install Panda, so you type Panda, and you have been able to install that library successfully. Do you get the logic now? So what I am saying in nutshell is that for you to use this method using virtual environment, number one, you need to create a folder. That folder, you double click and type CMD on that folder that I've created. Now, by the time you type CMD, it takes you to a command prompt. Now, this command prompt is a black screen. So, by the time you type in that command prompt, then you are ready to go. So, from there, you create your virtual environment. Once you are at the command prompt, then you can create your virtual environment. And to create a virtual environment, just as I've explained, is for you to type the word Python, then you give -m, then space, env, env, then the name of the environment, my environment. That is the name of the environment. Once you are able to create that, the name of the environment, then you need to activate it. So to activate it, you are going to type what? You type the name of the environment. Then when you type the name of the environment, then from there, you can do what? You can now put slash, the name of the environment slash, then activate, scripts, then slash activate. So once you have been able to do that, then you have activated the environment. Then you can now install your necessary packages. And these packages could be Panda. So this is an opportunity for me to mention some of the packages that are commonly used for data science. So you can, like, we have Panda. Pandas is a data science package in Python. You can use NumPy. NumPy is a package too. Then we can use PyTorch. PyTorch is a package too. It's a data science package for data analysis and a model. So we also have TensorFlow. TensorFlow is also another data science package. Then we have scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a machine learning library, which you need it. Then we have what we call NLTK. NLTK is a library that is used for sentiment analysis, word embeddings, and all the rest. So these are very, very common. Then there are also what we call visualization libraries like Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is also a very good library that you need for visualization. You can also install Seaborn. Once you know the type of analysis that you want to carry out, then that will determine the number of libraries that you are going to install. So that is one method by which we can install virtual environment is one of the methods that can be used to kickstart your data analysis journey. Another popular way to start with your data science journey is to use what you call Anaconda. So Anaconda is an integrated package or software. This software is loaded with many Python libraries. These libraries aid your data science analysis. So which means that you don't need to install a virtual environment again. All what you need is to do what? Is to go to www.anaconda.org. So when you visit this website, then you can download the free version, because there are paid version as well. So you purchase the free version, which is an enterprise package, then that will also do. By the time you download the Anaconda package, then you are good to go. The package has virtually all the data science libraries pre-installed. So those are the various ways by which you can install your packages. So setting up the environment is very, very important. You need to set up your environment. Once the environment is set up, you have your laptop, you have your IDE, which is integrated development environment, where you could write your code. You have source of internet for downloading whatever software that you need. And then you have the interpreter on your system. Then you can kickstart your journey into programming. You can as well. So from there, you can learn the syntax, the Python syntax for your analysis.